Hey guys, here is one of my takes. This is my take on why death sorcery and godslayer incantations, which sort of just used to be hex magic, needs a buff desperately in this game. And I really hope that they change death sorcery and these godslayer incantations. Um, the godslayer seal specifically boosts Godslayer incantations, and the Prince of Death staff specifically boosts death sorcery. In the past, a lot of these black flame evil type spells were called hexes, and when you ran into a hex user in PvP, it was like, oh man, here comes some. This is probably going to be a tough opponent. You don't see them often, but when you do, it instilled a sense of dread, as hexes should. Um, So the spells that are considered death spells are the following: Rancor Call, which is essentially just replaced by Ancient Death Rancor, same thing but better. Explosive Ghost Flame, and Tibia's Summons. These are the only spells that I know of that are actually considered death sorcery, and that sucks. There should be more options, but not only that, these should be better than they are. And then there's when it comes to Godslayer incantations, we have Black Flame, Scouring Black Flame Ritual, and Noble Presence, as well as there's a few defensive buffs that are also considered Godslayer incantations. But I just want to talk about the offensive options here. So I'm just hybridizing so I can kind of show both off at once. My stats are pretty typical caster, and we're split in faith in almost equality like setting, but you actually do get more out of faith than intelligence. Even when it comes to the scaling on this Prince of Death staff, they may say they both have A scaling, and this is one of the reasons scaling is so misunderstood. I think in this game is they both say A, but faith is like A.2 and int is like A.1. If you run them both up to 99, you'll see that faith actually gets a decent chunk more scaling than int. But this isn't about the power of the spells weighted by the stats. This is more about what do these spells have to offer, right? So Ancient Rancor Call, our first death magic spell. All right, I mean, sends out skulls. They do a decent amount of damage, and they could do more. Well, actually, I'm not sure they could do more. The faith spells could do more because they don't require int. However, these death magic spells do require faith, so you'd be going into faith no matter what. And the death staff scales better with faith anyways. So 42 int. What is it that needs 42 int? So let's just really, I want to really dive into this because I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that somebody can leave me a comment that completely changes my mind on this subject. But as it stands right now, I have to say, as somebody who's always been a fan of hex magic in Dark Souls 3, it's very upsetting to see the current state of death magic in Elden Ring. So this Ghost Flame requires 42 int. So if you want to use Explosive Ghost Flame, which is one of your 4 death spells, you need to go to 42 int, despite the death staff scaling better with faith. So now these don't require int, the incantations. Honestly, the incantation side is a little bit better. Anyways, back to okay. So I can send out a bunch of skulls with Ancient Death Rancor. This move's okay in PvP. You can charge it. They're annoying and scary, and they take a long time to get to you, which is almost more annoying than if they all hit you at the same time. I mean, that's okay as a bread and butter. You know, you could equate that to Glintstone Pebble for pure int, or just the Fireball for pure incantations, O Flame, or Flame Sling, I guess. But I think that it's the worst out of those 3. You're better off using Glintstone Pebble or O Flame. Explosive Ghost Blade, super long cast animation, and okay. Killed that guy, I guess. Takes a significant amount of mana. Has a super long cast time. Okay, I mean, cool. Let's It's my ungodly death AoE. I'm probably not gonna get this cast out. There you go. Yep. So I mean, that's okay, I guess. It's not great. It's not a great spell, and it takes too long to cast, and it's mediocre at best, in my opinion. And then we have Tibia's Summons. This is one of the better ones, if not the best death magic spell. It still takes too long to cast and is very easy to avoid. Like, he won't avoid it. But in PvP, you're probably going to get one of those hits off at best before they start panic rolling once they understand what's going on. I just missed that guy entirely. I was pretty far away, though. So, like, that's probably the best death sorcery, which isn't really saying much. You know, and it's odd to me to have this staff that specifically boosts death sorcery with so limited death spells that just aren't that great. And when it comes to death incantations, now I'll switch over to my Godslayer magic, they call it. It's a little bit better. I mean, Black Flame is directly equivalent, basically, to Flame Sling. It's just Black Flame, but that leaves the damage over time behind, which is kind of cool. I don't hate that. Scouring Black Flame is terrible. You have to be point blank. And that's what happens. That's what's going to happen. Most times you cast this, you have to be super close, barely grazed him. It takes, again, super long time to cast. It's what an extremely difficult ability to make solid use out of, especially in PvP. I mean, again, you have to compare these abilities to their equivalents in pure int or pure faith or pure incantation based magic, and I don't feel like they are on the same level at all for the most part. Black Flame is okay. Black Flame Ritual, I mean, it's a better version of what we just used with the mage, because it offers some layer of space and protection and does a decent amount of damage. I don't hate this as a spell. Reasonable cast time, pretty cool, but I'm like protecting myself. It's okay. Noble Presence is like just a meme. If somebody's bearing right down on you, you know, get away. I mean, I don't know why he didn't hit me there. I think this guy, yeah, see, this guy would if I was charging it. So once again, now this is a charge attack. It didn't even fully charged. It didn't even hit that guy right beside me. Who's using this spell and for what? That's my question. It's not good. Like, okay, it hits like 1 inch in front of me if I time it flawlessly. I just why have these specific incantations that are boosted by, you know, this boost Godslayer incantations when our choices are so limited and feel I don't know. It's certainly not the hex magic of the past. It's not the hex magic from Dark Souls 3 2. It's just not great, and I'm not happy with the state of hex magic, and I hope that they buff it and potentially even just change it. And like maybe it won't be till the DLC that all of a sudden this type of build comes alive with some additions. I don't know, but I do know that there is zero reason to run this style over a more traditional caster in the current state of the game. The sides are the coolest part about the build and the most useful part, and they actually scale really well with these fire enchants on them. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. The coolest black spell is actually the ability, the Ash of War I've tacked on these guys. Now this is what death magic should look like. It's not even a spell, and you don't even need to have a caster offhand to use it. But man, that's okay. Like, that's doing something, right? That's a nice size AoE with a decent charge time and significant damage. All said and done, you can fry for like several thousand damage on that. So the coolest black magic in the game, the coolest what I would file under hex magic in the game, what used to classically be hex magic, is just a weapon art that you don't even need a catalyst to cast. So yeah, that's about all. I wanna bounce it off anybody who might decide to watch this video. Do you agree with me that these sorceries are just and incantations are not in the spot they need to be to warrant even having specific seals and staffs in the game? Because that's how I feel. I feel like those might as well not even be in the game. It's so inferior to your pure choices in the same field. Even that hitbox is a bit surprising to me, but okay. I guess these shields just really get the job done. And see, and that has the same damage over time too. Like, see, now that's a hex spell. There should be more stuff like that. And like it used to be this similar to the glintstone spells. You could have like black hex magic follow you around and hone in on the target when you got close to it and stuff. Like, where are those spells? I feel like they did us dirty. They did us dirty on death / hex / godslayer magic in this game. And the only cool thing about the way I'm set up right now is the scythes and the cosplay. Look, I'm Thea. That's about it. I don't know. Let me know. Do you agree with me that this is something that needs to be addressed, or is it fine just being weak forever, or will we have to wait for a DLC to really see death magic pop off? I'm curious what you think, but my take on it is bad. Both Godslayer magic and death magic, just bad. Other than the one decent death spell, which is certainly not worth using its own staff for. That's the only thing that's okay for the most part. And like Black Flame's kind of okay as well. I don't know. It's they give you the items as if you should be building around it, but then it's not good enough to build around. Disappointing. Let me know what you think. Thanks.